शांति। गुड इवनिंग टू ऑल। आज इस सेमिनार का लास्ट दिन है और 4 दिन से हम लगातार गिरीश भाई जी से सुन रहे हैं और सुनते सुनते मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि जैसे हमने एक जीवन जीने की कला सीख ली है, जो आज कोरोना वायरस और लॉकडाउन के कारण सभी के मन में हलचल चल रहा है। भाई जी का सुनकर ऐसा लगता है जैसे हमें एक नई जागृति मिल गई, अंदर नई जागृति आ गई है, हमारा विश्वास बढ़ गया और परिस्थितियों को सामना करने की हिम्मत और उमंग उत्साह आ गई है। कल भी हम भाई जी से सुन रहे थे कि अगर हमको अपने संबंधों को मजबूत बनाना है तो लेने की भावना नहीं रखना है, देने की भावना रखना है और देने के लिए भी हमें पहले अपना स्टॉक फुल करना है। तो उसके लिए उन्होंने दूसरा संबंध कहा, पहले अपने आप से संबंध स्ट्रांग होना चाहिए, फिर दूसरा जो है वो सुप्रीम एनर्जी कहो, हायर अथॉरिटी कहो, ऑलमाइटी अथॉरिटी सर्वशक्तिवान से, पावर हाउस से संबंध जोड़ना है और इसी को ही राजयोगा मेडिटेशन कहते हैं। इससे पहले कि हम गिरीश भाई जी से आज के विषय होलिस्टिक हेल्थ टॉपिक पर सुने, आज हमारे बीच हमारे एक विशेष गेस्ट रविकांत रेड्डी जी हमारे बीच में है। मैं उनका स्वागत करती हूँ। रविकांत भाई, ओम शांति।
ओम शांति।
ओम शांति। आपका वीडियो
is there? Are you able to hear me?
हाँ, आई एम एबल टू हियर यू बट देयर इज नो वीडियो। अब दिखाई नहीं दे रहे हमें।
Video you should give the access to me.
आपको ही करना है बोल रहे हैं, यहाँ से कुछ नहीं मना, यहाँ से कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, आपको शायद ऑन करना है, वहां से वीडियो ऑन बटन ऑन करना है।
Yeah, I switch on. Now I already did it.
ओके ओके।
ये वीडियो इधर से ऑन नहीं हो रहा है।
अच्छा,
Now it's okay.
यस यस, नाउ यू आर देयर। सो आपका दिल से स्वागत है यहाँ पर इस सेमिनार में एंड आई हार्टफुली थैंक रविकांत रेड्डी जी फॉर हिज initiation towards organizing this seminar online, because you all know that this seminar has been jointly organized by Brahma Kumaris Business and Industry Wing Hyderabad and FTCCI and NHRD. So NHRD, which is grooming leaders and enhancing the capability of human resource professionals. So now I request Ravikant Reddy ji, President NHRD and also founder and CEO of PQuest, so to share his valuable brief greetings for this seminar. So फिर से आपका स्वागत है रविकांत भाई जी। Now over to you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. And a warm welcome to all the participants. And first of all, I should thank the Brahma Kumaris, the Sarovar of Hyderabad Center, and more particularly Madhavi Madam and Vamshi brother, who has reached out to organize this program originally on 30th of April, when the lockdown has been not declared. We thought we'll have a wonderful session with Girish being in Hyderabad and make use of his presence in Hyderabad for series of programs, and wherein we can bring large number of people to listen to him in person. However, after the lockdown, we are not given up, and we thought at least we should close all these programs before 30th April. And we thought what is important in the current reality and the current difficult situation, what is important for the industry leaders and also the employees working in the corporates and the professional body members who will be in turn helping all the employees in their corporates to be very calm, quiet and still pursue their aspirations, and also bring in a little bit of a spirituality and make them to get bonded. Some of them are working from home and some has been locked down at home. What kind of a calmness and what kind of a bonding that these people should bring in this difficult situation, one of the topics that we thought. And apart from that, we also thought the health is a wealth and health is important for us in the current reality, and we also should include this holistic health program into the whole program that we designed. We just wanted not only one-day program, we wanted to have the series of programs starting from 25th to 29th, all 5 days, 7 to 8. We thought we should run this to help the people learn the insights from Mr. Girish. Girish is a wonderful professional, and he brings in a lot of insights and touches the hearts of the people with his insights, making the people to think through their brain and think to implement the same for the benefit of self-development and helping others. So with this, I don't want to take much time and eat into the time of Girish. I thank Brahma Kumari Hyderabad Center in collaborating with us and helping us to reach out to our members with this great program. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू रवि भाई जी. एक्चुअली हमारा अप्रैल में अभी गिरीश भाई यहाँ हैदराबाद आने वाले थे और NHRD और ब्रह्मा कुमारी के कोलैबोरेशन से बहुत सुंदर प्रोग्राम होने वाला था, लेकिन ये लॉकडाउन के कारण जैसे भाई जी ने कहा, रविकांत भाई जी ने, कि नहीं हो पा रहा है, लेकिन उन्होंने ही एक दिन फोन किया और कहा क्यों नहीं हम वेबिनार करें, और फिर इस तरह से जो है ये बहुत अच्छा सुंदर इनिशिएशन के कारण सुंदर सेमिनार आज हम अटेंड कर पा रहे हैं. थैंक यू सो मच रवि भाई. और हाँ, आप सब अंत तक हमारे साथ जुड़े रहे, क्योंकि आज जो है हमारे बीच एक विशेष स्पिरिचुअली एनलाइटेंड स्पेशल सोल रेस्पेक्टेड कुलदीप दीदी जी, हु इज डायरेक्टर ऑफ शांति सरोवर, हम सबसे मिलेंगे और हम उनके मुख से उनके आशीर्वचन सुनेंगे. नाउ ज्यादा समय नहीं लूंगी आपका. नाउ ओवर टू गिरीश भाई. वेलकम गिरीश भाई एंड थैंक यू सो मच. गिरीश भाई.
Yeah. Om Shanti friends. Welcome to the last day of the series of program that we have been doing, and in fact I look forward every day to be with you. You may not be able to see me properly because there is no electricity right now here, and it exactly went off at 7 o'clock. Maybe in the next few minutes it will come, but I hope you are able to listen to me very clearly. And the last 4 days we were actually trying to bring about a shift in the way we understand life, the way we understand ourselves, the way we understand certain truth and reality. So before getting into today's topic of holistic health, I would like to put on record my sincere thanks and appreciation to Ravikant sir for extending the cooperation, even though we are not together face to face. In fact, we had already planned my visit to Hyderabad and a series of programs. But yes, thanks to technology, thanks to the high spirits of FTCCI and NHRD, Ravikant sir and all the senior office bearers, and especially to Brahma Kumari Shanti Sarovar for having initiated it, having thought about it, that yes, we can, talk to each other, staying back at our home, and can still benefit with this positive interaction. To start with, as far as health goes, when we are speaking about health or a healthy lifestyle, if you bifurcate the word healthy, it comprises of two words. One is heal, H-E-A-L, and the second one is die, T-H-Y. In fact, what it means is there is only one person on this planet Earth which can heal myself, and that is the self. Because it is generally said a doctor can only treat, and it is said God cures, doctor treats, and I heal. So even if the doctor has administered the right medicine to me for a certain infirmity or a disease or a problem, the chances of recovery is rests with the individual, how positive the individual is, how calm and quiet and relaxed the person is. And if I to start with as to why today we are facing so many medical challenges, it is and why there was a time when people, or maybe there was no illness, and to go back, although I don't have any scientific evidence to prove my argument, but it is just a thought to for each one of us to ponder over. Although I told you on day one that I'll not speak, Madhvi Ben, you need to speak. आप कुछ बोलना चाहते हैं? या प्लीज.
आप कल जैसे आपने नजदीक रखा था
वैसे ही रखा है सिस्टर. अभी ठीक है?
हाँ, अभी आ रहा है, थोड़ा आवाज बढ़ गया अभी आपका.
या
और सभी चाहते हैं कि आपको देखे, कुछ हो सकता है आप
देखें तो I mean I will on this is what will appear.
चलेगा.
This is okay. That's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Fine.
Okay.
People have candlelight dinner. We will have candlelight talk. That will be more divine. Anyway, so as I was mentioning that I told you on day one that I'll not speak anything which is religious in nature. We will speak something more beyond religion, because religion, it may be based on one's perception, based on one's programming, or the kind of thoughts I have in my subconscious mind since childhood, what my elders, what a particular religion has feeded into me. And I didn't speak anything about religion, but today, just to substantiate one point about health, I would like to take the help of a religion here, what we call it as the Hindu religion. And if you read almost all the scriptures or the holy text or the books of this Hindu religion, right from the Bhagavad Gita, the Ramayana, Mahabharata, the Ved, the Puran, Upanishad, the Linga Puran, Shiv Puran, Garud Puran, Vishnu Puran, and maybe few of you might have actually read it and you may be well versed with it. So if you go through all the texts related to the Hindu religion, which speaks about almost around 33 crore deities, right from Om Shri Ganeshaya Namah, that is Lord Vigneshwara, that is Ganpati, to the Mahadeva, that is Shankar. In between we have plenty full of gods and goddesses. I call it as deities. We can have a Kuladevi, we may have a Kuladevata, a local god, a god for our village, god for a family, god for a district, god for a particular element of nature, and this comprises of the 33 crore deities. How far it is true, not true, I'm not getting into it, but it is mentioned, that's what I'm saying. And if you read these, Hindu texts or the religious books, one observation that I made, I want you to think about it, that not one single reference is there in these, Hindu scriptures. No mention, it has not been mentioned that 33 crore deities, their biographies are written right from birth till death. Everything is mentioned, what they did, how was their childhood, what they did when they became adult, whom they got married to, what all they did as far as their dharmas was concerned. But what I'm bringing your attention to is, none, not even one out of 33 crore deities, not one ever fell ill. There is no mention. You read the entire Ramayana. Rama never ever had even a gas problem. Hanuman, no disc problem. Lakshman, no -2. Saraswati, no thyroid. Ma Durga, the epitome of power, no arthritis, no slipped disc, no knee problem. Lord Sri Krishna, no dandruff. I have lost half of my top floor. I don't have any hair on my top head. Now this is it. I mean, it sounds very sarcastic. I'm not. It may sound very hilarious, but maybe we did not ponder over it. And if you look at their life vis-a-vis my life today, or somebody's, I mean, any human being's life as on day 2020, you know, these deities, revered deities, they didn't had a very peaceful life. They had some agenda. They had to kill adharma. Maybe Ravana or Kans or the Duryodhanas or, you know, all the demons on planet Earth, all these Devi Devtas, they descended onto planet Earth to destroy and annihilate and kill the evil. Question: do you and I have the responsibility of killing a demon today? No, that's not my responsibility. But you take anything and everything. If you take, you know, Krishna for that matter, right from Kanswad to Shishupal to making the Pandavas win the battle, it was all dharma, dharma, dharma and dharma, and defeat the adharma. Now, my objective of life is to live my 24 hours, one sweet, beautiful family, my wife, 2 kids, mom, dad, maximum 10 people. And what I need to do is, I need not kill adharma. All I need to do is to live with them peacefully, happily, lovefully, blissfully, joyfully, easily. And if this is how I have to live, and the outcome of living this life is diabetes and blood pressure and heart attack and cancer and coronavirus, I mean, I'm very sorry. If those deities, revered deities with so much of, you know, problems in their life, and if I need to give you an example of Lord Krishna, I mean, I love this personality, and for that matter, let me make it very clear, I love Jesus Christ, I love Prophet Muhammad, I love Lord Buddha for that matter. So it's not per se with one particular religion. If you look at their life, it was all value based. Jesus, oh my God, I wish I should be born during Jesus Christ's days. I would have been such a wonderful, you know, fortune for me to see this personality live on planet Earth with flesh and bones. And I'm not looking at only the flesh and bones. I'm looking at something more profound. Jesus was tortured. If you look at few movies which is made on Jesus Christ's life, or if you read the Old and the New Testament, Christianity, I had a friend, since childhood friend, and I used to attend the church programs. Oh, I used to love that particular thing. And Jesus, he was tortured to the core, and when he was being crucified, you know what he said? Look at his thought, look at his words, look at his actions, what I told you yesterday. And his relationship with anybody and everybody was forgiveness, was love. Come what may, whatever is happening around me, I am in complete control of myself. And you know what he uttered? Oh, Father in heaven, forgive them, for they do not know what they're doing. My God, somebody tortures you in your house, maybe your son. I shouldn't use the word torture. The son or the wife or anybody for that matter doesn't listen to you. And I get perturbed so easily, and that's precisely the reason, because I'm not healing myself. Rather, I am doing the other way around. I am not leaving my physical body, every organ system to function on its own. I have hijacked the operations of my heart, and I'm forcing my heart to beat aloud, beat fast. It cannot sustain for a pretty long time. My blood has a factory setting. You know, this body has a factory setting. And that's the truth. Brahma Kumaris has not made 2 kidneys and 2 eyes and 1 liver. That is how it is. Whether you are a Hindu body or a Muslim body, you like God, you don't like God, you love nature, you scream, you don't scream, you love, you forgive, irrespective of it. The way you conduct yourself, organize yourself holistically in terms of your emotions, your thoughts, your physical body, what you eat, how you sleep, how you exercise your body, in toto will give you a result, health or ill health. It is as simple as that. And that is what I'm precisely trying to say. Lord Sri Krishna, before he was born, He had to confront problem, problem and problem. Till the last breath he took, it was always problem. You will not see one picture of Sri Krishna wherein he is agitated. His face is not happy. He is stressed out. And for that matter, why Lord Krishna? All 33 deities whom we go to the temple, we revere, we worship, we bow down, look at their faces. Oh my God, so beautiful. Miss World, Miss Universe se bhi zyada sundar hai ye. If at all you are looking at the physicality of it, you look at the face, you will feel like constantly looking at them. You can sense that energy, that vibration of power. And if I need to very specifically speak about Lord Sri Krishna, you were, or maybe I was born in a hospital wherein the best of the best medical team was there so that I am delivered properly. Nothing goes wrong to the mother and the baby. Most of you might have had this kind of a birth. Question: how was Lord Sri Krishna born? I mean, his parents were put into a jail. Uncle Kans was ready to kill. I mean, he killed, not even ready. He actually started killing all the babies of the town. And he wanted to kill Lord Krishna. Now tell me, when I was born, did I confront the problem that somebody was waiting outside to kill me? No. People were ready to celebrate my birth. They were happy. Oh, that was the kind of birth I had. But sorry, the same did not happen to Lord Krishna. And the last breath he took, I mean, I'll just take 1 minute for it. You know, during the Mahabharata war, when that war became, I mean, Krishna tried his level best to avoid the war, tried to bring about some kind of an agreement between the Pandavas and the Kauravas, but Duryodhan was damn adamant. He said, I'm not even willing to give 5 villages, because negativity creeped, ego was there, and he wanted to fight it out. He wanted to take the revenge of his insult. And finally, when it was all decided, and it was agreed that Krishna will fight with the Pandavas and his entire Akshuni Sena will be with the Kauravas. And when Gandhari came to know about it, she realized one thing, that this is interesting, light has come. When this news, when Gandhari, the mother of the Kauravas, came to know, she realized one thing, that Guru Drona, Kripacharya, Karna, with the Kavach and the Kundal, Duryodhana and the entire team can fight with the Pandavas, but they will not be able to overpower Krishna. And she realized that my death of my 100 children is bound to happen. And in that fit of rage, when she realized that they are going to die because Krishna was on the other side, a fit of rage, too much of love for Lord Krishna, anger, attachment towards the children, she was not, she lost her senses maybe, and she cursed Krishna at that time, and she said, the way my entire Kuru Vansh is going to get annihilated, similarly your entire Yadav Kula will also fight with each other and they will perish. And you know what Sri Krishna did? Sri Krishna smilingly, look at his inner state, not even for 1 second got agitated. 1 second. I told you about agility yesterday. I hear something bad, how fast I can come to my original state of my truth, my reality, that I am peace, I am love, I am respect, I am happy, I am blissful. Krishna was an embodiment of bliss. Sat, Chitta. Sat means truth, Chitta means consciousness, not the body. Sat kidney, no. Sat liver, Sat post, Sat position, Sat family member, Sat 2-bedroom or kitchen flat, Sat bank balance is all going to go back. I'm not going to take it. Sat, Chitta. Chitta means consciousness. Ananda. Sri Krishna smiled, bowed down, closed his eyes and said, Ji Mate, it's okay. Not even for a second got disturbed. If my mind, there is a strong connect between the mind and the body. There is a strong connect between emotions and my physical health. More than 80% of the diseases today are psychosomatic in nature, and these were not there during the deity period. You know why? Because psychosomatic was not there. They were psychologically, physically, emotionally very elevated, very powerful beings, and that is why we go and revere them. So my question is, can I, as an individual, can I bring myself to that level of absolute tranquility at the conscious level? And if I need to tell you, I told you, I heal. A doctor will only treat. And if I need to tell you something which is very scientific, when I meditate, when I'm calm, when I'm relaxed, I have picked it from certain internet sites, it says, when I'm in a state of meditation constantly, and what does it mean? That whatever I do 24 hours, eating, drinking, sleeping, talking, working, I am peaceful. Peacefully I am working. Lovingly I am working. Blissfully I am working. And when this happens, you know, there is an endocrine system which releases hormones. And if I need to quote few hormones, because today is health topic, melatonin is one hormone which is considered to be a sleep molecule, which induces sleep, and it will end insomnia. If this melatonin is secreted from the brain, I will be able to sleep easily, sound, healthy sleep. But if I'm agitated, I'm stressed out, I am watching a mobile phone into the bed and trying to sleep at 10 at night, sorry, the blue light from that screen will trick my brain, and it will tell my brain it is not night time, it is not sleep time. So the melatonin secretion stops. And if I continuously do this again and again and again, there is something called as neuroplasticity. The actions that you keep doing again and again and again, the brain connects, it connects new connections. And every time you hit the bed at 10 o'clock, even without a mobile phone, now you will not be able to sleep, because that's how I'm habituated. The second good hormone that gets secreted when I'm in a state of meditation, it is called as serotonin. They are considered to be the happy neurotransmitters. It will end depression. If my serotonin secretion is okay, come what may, under any damn challenges which I'm facing, whether it's a death, whether it is divorce, whether it is job loss, whether it is anything which I can put it in a crisis situation, that can happen because I don't have a control of what's happening outside. But I will not get depressed for sure. You know why? Because the brain is a store of medicines. And these medicines, what we call it as hormones, they are 10 times more powerful than morphine. You know, for terminally ill patient, as far as the palliative treatment is concerned, when the doctors have given up their hand and said now only God can help, now they put the patient into palliative care. And what is palliative care? Now they are not handling the cancer part. If the person starts vomiting, they will give some medicines to stop vomiting. If the patient starts sneezing, then they will administer some medicine for sneezing. Constipation medicine. But now cancer cannot be treated because cancer has spread to the whole body. And you know, for them, if they have to endure the pain, they are given morphine. Now what I'm speaking about, melatonin and serotonin, they are 10 times more powerful than these drugs. The third one is cortisol. Now cortisol is considered to be a stress hormone. It will increase your age. So today my biological age could be say 46 years, but I will look like as if I'm 60 years. Because that is how you are poured into every cell, into your skin, into each and every cell. And it's a negative hormone. The fourth one is endorphin. And endorphin is, it boosts your mood. So I'm feeling low, I can meditate, I know the truth, I know the reality, that this is what I can be in control of. Automatically this will get secreted and you will feel charged. Oh, let us do something good. Let me exercise, let me sleep properly, let me change my habits. Growth hormone, this is called as GH. This GH is considered to be the foundation of youth. It is, you know, the GH releases when I am in a delta stage of sleep. I will not get into the intricacies of sleep, but if you sleep for, you know, for say 6 hours, the 6 hours or 4.5 hours is bifurcated into sleep cycles of 90 minutes each. And in the first 90 minutes, almost 25% of the sleep can be the delta sleep. And this delta sleep is a stage in one cycle wherein my body, it starts repairing itself, it starts rejuvenating itself, it starts growing, it starts releasing the right hormones. The body has a repair function. It's like a garage, and this will only happen when I sleep, because if I don't sleep, the body doesn't get enough time. I'm not giving enough time for the body to heal, to repair. And this repairing takes place when I am in the deep stage of sleep, which is called as delta waves. And delta waves can only happen if you do an EEG. Delta waves can only happen when the brain vibrations or the energy or the brain waves are in the category of 0.5 to 3 or 4 hertz. So low. It's like dead. I don't know. I don't remember the problems. I don't remember what's going to happen tomorrow. Meditation is conscious sleep. I'm not sleeping right now. I am in a heightened state of awareness, but my mind is actually in that deep state. And the good news is you and I can learn it, and through practice, with little practice, I can bring my beta stage to the alpha stage, to the theta stage, to the delta stage. If you are practicing something at the alpha stage, there is a practice of meditation called as alpha meditation. Joe Silva created it. If you are practicing theta meditation, there is a lady who created this theta meditation. So when you bring your consciousness to the theta level, it has some benefit. But delta stage, it is, you can go into the subconscious mind. Raj Yoga meditation is going into the delta stage. Dadi Janki, she was the chief of Brahma Kumaris. Very recently, she left her, the body. She was experimented in the year 1974 by a psychiatric institute in Texas, and she was administered the EEG, and she was dubbed as the most stable mind in the world, a delta woman, because when she was experimented, while talking, like I'm talking to you, I am right now in a beta stage, because I am looking at the time, I'm looking at what I need to speak, the next topic. I'm not in a delta stage because I'm aware of it. But she, Dadi Janki ji, she was in a stage of delta. That amount of control she had on her thoughts. So the growth hormones, these are released during the delta waves. GABA, this is, it is called as a calm chemical. GABA, the full form is gamma aminobutyric acid. This gets secreted when I'm in a state of meditation, and what it does is it will end addiction. So right now I'm calm. I don't need to smoke or take a peg to make myself relaxed. I am already calm, because there are inbuilt wonderful medicines. This can only be triggered and released, and it will go and speak to 50 to 60 trillion cells of the body if I am in a state of deitiness. And what I told you about deitiness is they are Satta, Chitta, Ananda, Satta, Chitta, Shanti, Satta, Chitta, happiness. I know problems are there. I know situation is not conducive. I know we don't know what's going to happen. And there are other chemicals also, like dopamine, oxytocin, lot of other things. The benefits what I can have as far as the release of these medicines are concerned. And what is disease? Disease is dis-ease. When my state of easiness at the physical level, mental level, social level, emotional level, thought level, it is disrupted, it is disease. Not necessarily that I should have cough and cold and heart attack and cancer. That is an extreme form. If the state of easiness first is not checked, it will start impacting my cells, and then it will affect a weak organ. So emotion is nothing but E-motion. When my energy is in motion, so I get angry, that is energy in motion. And what will get released is cortisol, is adrenaline. It's not the good hormone. But on the contrary, I know somebody is not doing things as per my wish, but I'm still still peaceful. I'll make the other person understand, but I'll not get agitated. The primary role of parents is to make the child understand. You have no fundamental right to get angry. Why? Because who has given you a right to disease the body? You were given a perfect body. You and I were given a perfect body. And let us not mess it up. And when I speak about being soul conscious, and I told you on the third day, the soul primarily is a spiritual ocean of 7 innate qualities. And the 7 innate virtues, what I am, it nourishes the organ system. So if I'm knowledgeable, the soul is an embodiment of knowledge. Knowledge means truth. The soul is by default truth. And when I am truthful, I'm in this stage, my nervous system will be taken, it will get nourished. Like issues like headache, migraine, nervous breakdown will not happen. If I'm blissful, bliss means ananda. Knowledge means gyan, satya gyan. Bliss means ananda. When I am in a state of ananda, the endocrine system which releases all these hormones, they will be in order. They will not be in a dis-E state. When I'm peaceful, my respiratory system will be okay. When I'm full of love, I don't love you because you have to in turn love me. I love you because I am love. I don't know anything else other than love, because I am in a state of consciousness. When I operate my life, it's not about loving a person. It's loving a job, loving my post, loving my position. I mean, whatever I am, with respect to a lot of people, my responsibilities, the position, post, status, I do everything. I drive lovingly. I'm a passenger, I will travel with co-passengers lovingly. I'll not get agitated. You know why? Because I am peace. This is how we have to operate. So if I'm full of love, believe me, circulatory system, we will not get heart attack. I'll share about heart attack if time permits. Happiness will enhance the process of my digestive system. And you might have experienced it when you are in a very heightened state of happiness. Bhook hi nahi lagta, you will not feel hungry. And vis-a-vis, when I'm in a high state of stress also, you will not feel hungry. Or on the contrary, if you are too much stressed out and you're not happy, you want to feel happy. That is how people start, eating too much, and obesity will form. Because otherwise I'm not able to feel happy. Only with eating I'll feel happy. Only by watching I'll feel happy. Only by doing something I'll be happy. The binge eating will put on a lot of weight. And if I'm pure, pure means I'm innocent. I can't deceive people. I can't insult people. I can't do tit for tat. I can't take revenge. I don't know what is vengeance, what is revenge. I will also show you, you did this to me, I will also do this, this is how the world is not good, only these people survive, why should I remain, people will take advantage of my silence, of my humility. I don't know. I only know one thing, that I'm always blissed out. So when I'm pure, I don't have any negative feeling for anybody. I am not, a slave to my sensory organs. Now this will help in enhancing my excretory process or the purification of my kidney, ureter, bladder and all those things. The detoxification of the body will enhance because I am pure. And the last one is power. When I'm powerful, my muscles and bones will become good. Any problem related to osteoarthritis, hips, bones, spine ka problem nahi hoga. I'll share very fast about heart attack. It's my experience. One of my first job after I did my MBA program was to work in a hospital here in Borivali in Mumbai. And it was primarily a surgical unit. And my role as a marketing person was to get the best of the best doctors from South Mumbai, hospitals like Breach Candy, from Tata Memorial Cancer Research Hospital, from KEM, from Nair Hospital, from Leelavati, Nanavati, you name it, the best hospitals. And because Borivali was in the suburb, it was almost around 40-45 kilometers, and the patient did not want to travel all the way to South Bombay to get operated. Neither the doctors were free enough to operate because their appointments were so heavy that if I need to get operated from one of the best onco surgeons from Tata Memorial, your waiting period is 6 months. He is already booked. Operation theater is not free. That's the demand and supply, mismatch. So what we used to do is we would bring this doctor to the suburb hospital, that is my hospital, and the patient need not travel, the doctor will travel and he will operate the patient, and it will be little overcharged at a premium cost. But the patient were ready to pay that extra premium amount. The doctor was happy. We would take the margin in between for organizing all these things. So we were also very happy. So everybody was a win-win situation. But the doctor would come early morning, say around 5 o'clock, operate by 8 o'clock, and then he will go for the rest of the official work. So I'll share this experience. I befriended a cardiologist, a young cardiologist. He walked out of the operation theater, and one fine morning he looked at me and said, "Girish, good news for you." I said, "What is that?" He said, "You will not get heart attack." Now this is 1998. It's almost around 22 years back, the experience I'm sharing. So he said, "You will not get heart attack." I was really very happy. I said, why do you think so? I mean, you did not even take my pulse or my heartbeats. You did not do a stress test, or you did not even do a blood test. How can you say with so much of confidence? And he said, "Girish, latest research," this was 1998, latest research, by looking at a person, 4 indicators, I'll be able to guess whether this person is a likely candidate to get heart attack or not. I said, "What is that?" So he told me, number one, he looked at me and he said, condition number 1, if a person is less than 40 years, then you will not get heart attack. The only condition is the person should be above 40 years. I was really happy. Today I'm 46 running. So 22 years back I was young. I said, "Wow, Girish, enjoy till 40 years. You have all the freedom, eat, drink, sleep, don't do anything. Heart attack nahi hoga because the doctor is saying." I said, "Go ahead, sir. What's the second one?" He said, "Since you don't have a Madhya Pradesh is your mid portion, that is your stomach. And if your Madhya Pradesh is not big, that is, you're not obese, you don't have a big tummy, a lot of fats and cholesterol in your body, not even in your body, but also in your blood." And I am a very lean and thin person. So he looked at me and said, "Girish, since you don't have fats and cholesterol, so no chances of heart attack." I said, "Wow, thank you so much, sir. First time in my life I realized being thin has some positive advantages." So I said, "Go ahead, sir. What's the third one?" He said, "If you have a family history of heart attack, then the likelihood of the risk factors increases." I immediately called up my dad and inquired whether in his entire family and mama's family has anybody died out of heart attack. So he thought about it for a little time, and then he called me and said, "Girish, no, I don't recall anybody dying of heart attack." I was really elated. I literally started dancing in front of the doctor and he said, "Sir, मेरी किस्मत बहुत अच्छी है. I've got a good khandan. My, hereditary is good." And I said, "What's the fourth one?" So the doctor said the fourth parameter which sets whether a person is likely to get heart attack or not is if the person does not have lifestyle-induced disorders. Lifestyle-induced disorders, primarily there are 2, that is diabetes and BP. And this is lifestyle. You have proper maintenance of your vehicle, of your AC, of your cooler, of everything. Even we remind ourselves that was the last date of the insurance premium I have to pay. How about this beautiful machine? And we don't do any servicing of this machine, not the mind. Continuously usage. On Sundays get up at 10 in the morning, the other days get up at 5 in the morning. Few days you skip your breakfast, or other days because of meeting you skip your lunch. On Sundays you eat so much of food. I mean, sorry, the body is not able to tolerate this. And the onset of diabetes, blood pressure and all related issues, major problem because of this. So I told my doctor, touch wood, I don't have diabetes. At that time also I did not have it. Today also I don't have it, and I am little confident that in future also I'll not have it, because I take care of the mind and the body, the health, the rest, the meditation, the power, the right food for both of them. So comes 2008, after 10 years, and during this 10 years, wherever I would get an opportunity, I would deliberately ask my audience, "Can you tell me who is a likely candidate to get heart attack?" And I would derive sadistic pleasure when people will look at me and say, "No sir, aapko to kabhi heart attack nahi hoga. You are not a likely case to get heart attack. Look at you, you don't have anything." So I would feel really happy. In the year 2008, I was doing a program in JJ Hospital, Mumbai for a nursing conference. And when I finished my talk, during the tea break, one lady doctor approached me and said, Girish, oh, your session was very interesting. We cracked a lot of jokes. It was a little hilarious. And she enjoyed a lot. And she said, Girish, I am from Safi Hospital, Grant Road. And I want a similar session for my doctors to de-stress them. Can you come? I said, absolutely sure, my privilege. So she said, can I have your visiting card? At that time, I used to keep my visiting card. I took my visiting card and flashed out to her as a mark of respect and good gesture. I said, madam, can I have yours also? I mean, it doesn't look good that you give yours and, you don't ask for the other person's. I hope the audio is good now. So she also flashed her card. The moment I read her card, her name was written and below her name was written MD cardiologist. Oh my God, my tube light started thinking. I said, Girish, you should not wait a second. She's an authority. You will get a latest ISO 9001 2014 wala fresh certified that I will not get a heart attack. And how much elated I'll feel when she would say you will never have a heart attack. Without wasting a second, overconfidently I asked her a question, ma'am, can you tell me who is a likely candidate to get heart attack? And believe me, friends, you know why am I alive today? It's because I did not get a heart attack after listening to her, reply. It was such a dangerous reply. I mean, I don't know how I handled that particular reply. I asked her, can you tell me who is a likely candidate to get heart attack? You know what she told me? She said, Girish, anybody who has got a heart can get heart attack. It was a great shock for me. I was in a state of shock. I looked at her and said, what rubbish, you are MD cardiologist. She said, yeah. I said, madam, I'm not even a doctor. I am pure BCom MBA marketing finance guy. She said, so what? I said, you don't even know four factors, four conditions. She said, what are those four conditions? I thought probably she does not know that four conditions. I said, number one, I am less than 40 years. You know what she said? Girish, now latest research says whether you are less than 40 or above 40, the only condition required is you should have a heart. Oh my God, I lost my first condition. I wanted to salvage the situation. I said, madam, forget about the first one. I have the second reason. She said, what is that? I said, I am underweight. I am malnourished. I don't have fats and cholesterol. My height, weight, body proportion is unmatched. I am almost around 8 to 10 kilos less than, my standard weight according to my height. She said, Girish, that is old. The latest research says whether you are fat, you are obese, you are slim and thin, irrespective of it, the only condition is you should have a heart to get heart attack. I said, hold on, let me tell you the third one. I said, I don't have a family history of heart attack. After listening to her answer, I don't know how I survived. She said, I told her, none in my family till date anybody has got a heart attack. Anybody has died out of heart attack. She said, Girish, you can be the opening batsman in your family. Don't tell me about your great-grandfathers. You might have brought about genetic changes by the way you respond to a stimuli outside of you. So don't rest peacefully that your forefathers never had a genetic coding of heart attack. That means you are not a probable candidate to get attack. Sorry. There is something which is recently being researched a lot, is called as epigenetics. And these people who have coined a term called as epigenetics, they say there is nothing called as genes. I need not have a genetic programming of heart attack and diabetes, but still I can be a full-fledged case of heart attack and diabetes. I literally started crying. I said, madam, fourth reason, I am not diabetic. I don't have blood pressure. Will I get heart attack? She said, Girish, heart attack has become so powerful that it can attack on its own. It need not take the help of these kind of diseases. I said, thank you, madam. So it brings me back to that original aspect. Now, these are at the physical level. But the amount of load of stress hormones that I'm pouring into the heart, there is no love. And that's precisely the reason why men have higher incidence of cancer than female. Because of two reasons. One, there is a hormone which is present in a female body, not there in a male body, which takes care of the heart. Number two, even if you look at a male and a female, a father and a mother, who is more loving, who is more caring, who is more, soft? Papa may hit the boy and say, for 2 days, don't give him food, only then he'll understand. And you know what the mama will do? Mama hidingly will give food to the baby because she loves. That nourishes the heart. Men, they also love the kid, but they are not expressive. Because in the Indian society, if men can cry, if men are feeble, if men can be emotional, then they are not considered to be a full-blown man. He is vulnerable, he is susceptible, he is weak. Now this is the kind of programming that I have got into my subconscious mind. And for a female, if she shouts, if she screams, then that is also not good, because a female should always be docile, should always tolerate. You cannot argue, you cannot reply back. And that's precisely the reason why women in India have very high incidence of, knee problem, of hip joint problem, arthritis, all bone related problem is more, incidence is more in female. Yeah, why? Because right from childhood, they are hammered. You are a girl, you're a girl. The parents do it first, then the husband do it, then the mother-in-law do it, and finally the kids also do it. The kid will reply back to a mother, but he will not do it with the father, because there is a sense of fear. But for the mama, he can emote out any frustration. Gali bhi de sakta hai mummy ko. And what is the role of mama? Mama will take in all the pain, all the, slangs, and will put it into her mind, hold it, block it, and that then she will feel, I am powerless. If I told you, power is related to muscles, purity is related to excretion, happiness, digestive system, love, circulatory system, peace, respiratory system, love is circulatory system, bliss is endocrine. Every emotion with which nature had made me, it was so very beautifully connected to my body. And if I need to tell you 3 dimensions for good health, one is food, the other is physical exercises, and number 3 is sleep. And sleep has a direct connection with meditation. Very sound sleep will heal you fast. Meditation is conscious sleep. Even though I'm not sleeping, but I can heal myself right now even when I'm talking to you. It's all about how I feel right now in my mind. Meditation is not relaxation techniques. Meditation is transforming myself. I go deep down into my subconscious mind and I can change the habit of being reactive, of being agitative, of being worried. No, this is not my true quality. Physical fitness, you can do exercises, yogasana, gyms, walking, swimming, a lot of things. I need not speak much on it. Food is very important. There are 3 types of food which is mentioned in, in our society. It's called as sattvic food, very high energy. Rajasic food, little less energy. And tamasic food is negative energy. Anything which seeps your energy, which takes away the peace, happiness, and brings into a sense of insecurity, attachment, sense of loss, sense of fear. And if these food item induces it, then we call it as negative energy. Any non-vegetarian food is tamasic bhojan. And we are not, technically we are not designed to eat non-veg food. Any carnivorous animal on planet Earth, now carnivorous animal is not made by Girish, that's how it is. Any carnivorous animal will drink water by licking through the tongue. Every herbivorous animal, a cow or a goat or an elephant, will put the mouth into the water and suck. How does human being drink water? We also suck through the lips. We take in, we don't lick. So biologically, naturally, our internal system, our teeth, our acids into the body, our intestine, they are not made to eat non-veg food, and that is why we cook them. I mean, any heart attack patient, you go to a doctor, the first thing is going to ask you to stop non-veg food. Liquor, any abusive substance which are addictive in nature, cigarette, I want to sleep because I can't sleep otherwise, so I drink. Now what happens while you drink and sleep? It will not induce sleep. The hangover is more painful. You will sweat a lot. Your BP goes up. Metabolism, it all get disturbed. So what I need to do is, the sattvic bhojan is not that I don't eat non-veg food, but with what vibrations I am preparing the food. So maybe a housewife is cooking food, but she is stressed out because the son is not studying. She is shouting at the child and cooking food. So the shouting vibration or agitated vibration also gets into the food. And anybody who eats that food gets the same negative energy. So we have to be very careful. In Brahma Kumaris, we give lot of importance to not only the kind of food, but how it is prepared, with what mindset we are preparing the food. So physical fitness, food and sleep, all three of them is very important. Meditation is one unique gift, I may say, for all of us to heal ourselves and to make ourselves healthy. Let us sit for meditation for 2 minutes. Health is in your hand. What you think, what you emote, and what you feel is my choice. And if at all I can do this and can be a master of this, believe me, most of the illnesses can be taken care of. I can share umpteen examples when people being in a state of cancer and diabetes, they could heal themselves and they are out of it by practicing Raj Yoga meditation. So friends, let us go into this beautiful 2 minutes meditation, and then we will listen to most respected Didi ji. She is an inspiration for all of us, of how she conducts herself, maintains her mind through the practice of meditation. We will take her blessings also post this meditation. We will listen to Kuldeep Didi after meditation. So just sit back, relax, close your eyes. It's important for me to send the body pure vibrations of light and might every day, whether I'm sick or not. I need to give little time to heal myself consciously through the power of my thought energy. The body needs that support. So let us take a few moments now to prepare for healing the body. Allow yourself to drift away from the world of form, sound, matter, size, body, and travel deep within into a space in the forehead, a space of pure light and might. Feel and experience a sparkling star in the center of my forehead. I am a sparkling star. Experience the stillness and silence within yourself. Feel that I am quiet, in a restful state and completely serene. This place is a place of pure energy and light. Feel yourself as if I'm innocent. Nothing has ever happened wrong to me. I don't remember. Feel that this energy of pure light is radiating to every cell of the body. Relax your complete body. Don't sit tightly. Feel that I'm stress-free, and release out anything that is not needed right now. Feel and notice that above you, on top of you, is a source of golden light, the light of the divine. We call it as God. Feel that healing rays of divine light is coming onto you. This is the purest and highest form of energy. Connect yourself to God's energy. Feel that the rays of God's healing light is falling on you. And each and every part of your body, the disease is getting washed away. This divine light is washing every cell of your body. You feel to become healthy and energetic, releasing every emotion that I don't need. I am feeling light. God's divine rays are falling onto the body and the being. This light is making a new you, free from the memories of the past, free from all the worries, free from all the existing diseases. This light is restoring my divinity, my innocence, my inner powers, and health for the body. I feel light. Please keep absorbing this light from the Almighty. At the same time, speak to the body gently and sweetly, acknowledging that this body is a precious instrument, and I love my body. I appreciate each and every organ. It helps me to connect to the outside world. Eyes, such a wonderful instrument to see this beautiful world. This beautiful mouth, to express my love and respect to each one around. Let go of anything that is not healthy and create a new you. I am born again with a fresh, positive mind and a healthy body. I am mentally, physically, socially healthy. I'll keep practicing Raj Yoga meditation to connect myself with the Supreme, to become healthy. I am healthy right now. Slowly open your eyes. Come to the consciousness of this beautiful world. This is how you need to talk to yourself. Om Shanti. Thank you, friends.
Video. ओम शांति गिरीश भाई, सुनाई दे रहे?
Yes, yes, yes.
ओके, थैंक यू सो मच। और आज हमारे बीच विशेष हमारे आदरणीय कुलदीप दीदी जी हमारे साथ हैं। हम उनका दिल से हार्दिक स्वागत करते हैं, क्योंकि आज जो हम इतना सुंदर सेमिनार सुन रहे हैं गिरीश भाई जी से, इतना सुंदर सेमिनार जो ऑर्गेनाइज हुआ है, तो दीदी जी आपकी ही प्रेरणा और गुड विशेस के कारण हम यहाँ आज बैठे हैं। तो कुलदीप दीदी जी, आप ब्रह्मा कुमारी हैदराबाद सब जोन के डायरेक्टर हैं, साथ में शांति सरोवर एकेडमी फॉर ए बेटर वर्ल्ड के भी आप डायरेक्टर के रूप में सेवाएं दे रहे हैं। आप जैसे ये बिजनेस इंडस्ट्री विंग है, ऐसे आप स्पोर्ट्स विंग के नेशनल कोऑर्डिनेटर हैं, साथ ही आप ब्रह्मा कुमारी एजुकेशनल सोसाइटी के गवर्निंग बॉडी मेंबर भी हैं। और दीदी जी के ही कुशल नेतृत्व में कई गवर्नमेंट ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स और वर्कशॉप्स का आयोजन हुआ है। आपने देश विदेश भ्रमण कर, जैसे कि यूएसए, यूके, चाइना, दुबई, मलेशिया, सिंगापुर आदि आपने अपने सेवाएं प्रदान की हैं, जिसमें आपने अनेकों को सकारात्मक जीवन परिवर्तन करने के लिए प्रेरणा स्रोत बने हैं आप। और आपको 2002 में भगवान महावीर विश्व सद्भावना पुरस्कार प्राप्त हुआ। 2004 में ऑल इंडिया इंटेलेक्चुअल्स द्वारा ग्रेट डॉटर ऑफ सॉइल पुरस्कार भी प्राप्त हुआ और 2008 में महारानी झांसी का भी पुरस्कार प्राप्त हुआ है। दीदी जी हमारे लिए जैसे एक रोल मॉडल है, एग्जाम्पल है। उनका जो जीवन है, उनके जीवन में जो त्याग और तपस्या है, उसको देख करके कितने लोगों ने अपना जीवन जो है श्रेष्ठ बनाया, सकारात्मक परिवर्तन अपने जीवन में लाया है। तो मैं ज्यादा समय न लेते हुए दीदी से अनुरोध करती हूँ कि अपने गुड विशेस हमको हमारे सामने रखें। आदरणीय कुलदीप दीदी जी।
ओम शांति। सर्वप्रथम गिरीश भाई को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आपने अनेक आत्माओं को लाभ दिया और सेमिनार में कई लोगों ने भाग लिया। तो हम भी जो भाई बहनें सुन रहे हैं उनको यही कहेंगे कि इस समय ऐसी परिस्थिति है जो शायद मनुष्य ने कभी स्वप्न भी नहीं देखा होगा कि हम इतना दिन तक घर में ही रहेंगे। और बहुतों को क्वेश्चन मार्क है, पता नहीं कब तक रहेगा। लेकिन अगर हम अपने माइंड को पॉजिटिव बनाएं कि बहुत अच्छा समय है, प्रकृति भी अपनी सतो प्रधान अवस्था में आ रही है, जबकि हमारे भारत के प्रधानमंत्री जी बहुत करोड़ों रुपया खर्च करके भी गंगा जल को या यमुना को स्वच्छ नहीं कर सके। सभी नदियों का जल स्वच्छ हो गया, वायु शुद्ध हो गई, आकाश भी कितना सुंदर, नक्षत्र भी चमकते हुए दिख रहे हैं। केवल मनुष्य को अगर अपना माइंड पॉजिटिव बनाने की आदत हो और ये पॉजिटिव रूप देखे, प्रकृति में भी परिवर्तन है। कईयों की हेल्थ अच्छी हो गई है, क्योंकि पोल्यूशन के कारण जिनको अस्थमा है और कई ऐसी बीमारियां हैं लंग्स से रिलेटेड, जो वो लोग हमको अनुभव सुना रहे, बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है। और जो शांति प्रिय लोग हैं उनको भी आंतरिक शांति और बाहर की भी शांति का अनुभव करने की आदत है। और जो लोग यही सोचते रहते अब क्या होगा, कैसे होगा, तो वो फिर परिवारों में भी आप देख रहे हैं कि फ्रस्ट्रेशन के कारण झगड़े है ना। कई लोग हमको सुना रहे कि कईयों का तलाक भी हो जा रहा है। लेकिन अगर हम प्रतिदिन अपने अंदर जाएं, वैसे भी बाहर नहीं जाना है, घर के अंदर रहना है, आत्मा भी अपने घर के अंदर है, और अंदर जाकर अगर हम अपने आत्मिक स्वरूप को देखें, कितना सुंदर स्वरूप है आत्मा का। और आत्मा चिंतन, परमात्मा चिंतन ही मेडिटेशन है। जितना जितना हम अपने मन को परमात्मा के साथ जोड़ेंगे, हमारा मन भी सशक्त होगा और हमारी इम्यूनिटी भी बढ़ेगी। क्योंकि डर के कारण मनुष्य बीमारियों का आह्वान करता है, अपनी इम्यूनिटी को भी कम करता है, और ये सोच सोच कर मुझे ना हो जाए, तो शायद हम आह्वान करते हैं तो हो सकता है, लेकिन हमें होगा ही नहीं। अगर हम सब पावरफुल वाइब्रेशन इस वातावरण में वाइब्रेट करेंगे, स्पिरिचुअल वाइब्रेशन, तो सारी दुनिया से ये वायरस खत्म कर सकते हैं। क्योंकि हमारे संकल्पों में बहुत शक्ति है, और जितना हम आत्मिक स्वरूप में परमात्मा के साथ कनेक्ट होकर शुद्ध संकल्प करते हैं, तो अपनी मनसा के द्वारा हम अनेक आत्माओं की समस्याओं का समाधान कर सकते हैं। हमारे अंदर वंडरफुल पावर्स हैं, शक्तियां हैं, जिनको हमने पहचाना नहीं है। हमारी मानसिक शक्तियां कभी कभी इमरजेंसी में काम करती हैं। तो जब मनुष्य को कोई नहीं दिखाई देता हेल्प करने वाला, आप देखिए हमारे यहाँ पर भी एक सेंटर है लाइट हाउस। हम एक माता को हमेशा देखते थे, वो अपने घर के अंदर से बस खड़ी होकर के सबको देखती थी, कभी बाहर नहीं आती थी। तो उसका हस्बैंड ही उसको देखता था, वो बीमार रहती है। एक दिन उसके हस्बैंड ने कहा मैं ब्रेड लेकर आता हूँ, और उसका एक्सीडेंट हो गया और डेथ हो गई। उसके बाद हमने देखा वो माता बेड से उठ गई, खुद ही सारा काम करती थी। उसके आसपास जमीन थी, बेचारी को डर लगता था, मैं अकेली हूँ, कोई ले ना ले, सारा दिन खड़ी रहती थी। तो जब मन में शक्ति आ जाती है कि मुझे करना है, तो तन भी साथ देता है। इसलिए मन को शक्तिशाली बनाने के लिए गिरीश भाई ने बहुत सुंदर टिप्स आप सभी को बताए हैं। और भी आप ब्रह्मा कुमारी के साथ अगर संबंध रखेंगे, जहां पर भी आप रहते हो, ये मेडिटेशन आप घर बैठे भी सीख सकते हो। अभी ऑनलाइन फैसिलिटी हर जगह है। आप मेडिटेशन करते रहेंगे तो आपको आपकी आंतरिक शक्तियां बढ़ेंगी, आपके अंदर खुशी, शांति, सुख की फीलिंग, आनंद की फीलिंग, जो हम चाहते हैं आंतरिक सुख, वो हमें बाह्य दुनिया में या बाह्य पदार्थों में, मेटेरियलिस्टिक दुनिया में वो नहीं मिल सकता है। तो आध्यात्मिक शक्ति बहुत बड़ी शक्ति है। इस आध्यात्मिक शक्तियों को भी जागृत करने का समय मिला है, इसका हम लाभ लें। क्योंकि वैसे हम हमेशा कहते थे भगवान हमें टाइम ही नहीं है आपको याद करने का, भगवान मुझे अपने लिए भी समय नहीं मिलता है, भगवान मैं क्या करूं, बहुत कुछ करना चाहता हूं, कर नहीं पाता हूं, टाइम नहीं है, टाइम नहीं है। भगवान ने सुन लिया, बहुत सारा टाइम दिया, लेकिन अभी भगवान को ब्लेम करते ये क्या कर दिया। तो भगवान भी कहता है मैं तुम्हारी सुनूं, किसका सुनूं, मुझे भी नहीं समझ में आता। आप बोलते टाइम नहीं है, मैंने टाइम दिया। फिर आप बोलते शांति चाहिए, शांति भी दी, फिर भी हम अशांत हैं। तो मना आत्मा का जो स्वभाव है, हम भूल गए हैं कि हम है ही शांत स्वरूप आत्माएं, शांति सागर के हम संतान हैं। हमारा काम है सारे विश्व को शांति और सुख के वाइब्रेशन देना, सर्व आत्माओं को शक्तियां देना। क्योंकि आत्माएं परिस्थितियों का सामना करने की शक्ति या सहन करने की शक्ति अपने अंदर उसका अभाव महसूस करते हैं। तो जो आत्माएं मेडिटेशन करती हैं, तो हम ब्रह्मा कुमारी ईश्वरीय विश्वविद्यालय में प्रतिदिन सामूहिक रूप में हम मेडिटेशन कर रहे हैं। आजकल लॉकडाउन है, बाहर से लोग नहीं आ रहे, लेकिन हम अपनी क्लास वालों को भी वेबएक्स में क्लास कराते हैं। और फिर दिन भर भी हमारे यहाँ मेडिटेशन चलता है, साइलेंस रिट्रीट, थोड़े थोड़े लोगों को बिठाकर मौन के द्वारा। और हमारा प्रयास यही है कि हम सारे विश्व में जो भय है और जो अशांति है, दुख की फीलिंग्स है, उसको संपूर्ण रूप से मिटाकर सब आत्माओं को जो हमने पाया है भगवान से, वो हम सभी को अपने मनसा के द्वारा दान दें। ये सर्वश्रेष्ठ दान है। क्योंकि खाने पीने की चीजें कोई भी दे सकता है, वस्तुएं मिल सकती हैं, लेकिन मन की शांति, मन की जो शक्ति है, वो परमात्मा से सभी लोग बोलते हैं ना, इतनी शक्ति दे मुझे कि मैं सब मुसीबतों का सामना कर सकूं। इसलिए आप सबसे हमारा ये नम्र निवेदन है कि आप सभी भी इस राज्यों का अभ्यास करने के लिए इस समय का लाभ लें। अब ये बहाना नहीं है कि समय नहीं, आपको बहुत समय मिला है, तो इस समय का लाभ लेंगे, आपकी सारी समस्याओं का हल आपको मिल सकता है। ओम शांति।
ओम शांति। थैंक यू दीदी जी, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और दीदी को देखकर काफी हमको प्रेरणाएं मिलते हैं और काफी कुछ सीखने को मिलता है। और प्रैक्टिकल एग्जाम्पल मैं बताना चाहूंगी, क्योंकि इतना बड़ा सब जोन, हाँ, वो हैदराबाद का सब संभाल रहे हैं, लेकिन हमेशा दीदी जी को हम देखते हैं एकदम लाइट रहते हैं, इजी एंड लाइट। क्योंकि मैंने एक बार देखा, कुछ ऐसा सिचुएशन आ गया था, दीदी जा रहे थे, माउंट आबू निकलने वाले थे 1-2 घंटे में, और कुछ सिचुएशन आ गया था, तो दीदी ने अपना ट्रिप कैंसिल नहीं किया, कहा भगवान का कार्य है ना, भगवान कराएगा। और दीदी निश्चिंत होकर के निकल गए। जो हम लोगों को लग रहा था अभी क्या होगा कैसे होगा, लेकिन दीदी जी की वो एक जो सेंटेंस दीदी ने कहा सब कुछ अच्छा हो जाएगा, तो हम भी निश्चिंत हो गए और दीदी आबू भी चले गए और हमने देखा इतना आसानी से वो जो परिस्थिति थी, जो बात आई, उसका इतना आसानी से समाधान हो गया जो हम भी सोच नहीं सकते थे। तो दीदी को देख करके इतने लाइट और इजी होने के कारण हम भी एकदम इजी और लाइट, कोई भी बात आ जाए दीदी बोलते कोई बात नहीं, हो जाएगा। बस ये एक जो दीदी का सेंटेंस है, हमको भी इतना प्रेरणा मिलता है, शक्तिशाली स्थिति का अनुभव हम करते हैं। तो ऐसे दीदी के साथ यहाँ उनके अंग संग में रहने का मुझे सौभाग्य मिला, इसके लिए दीदी को भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करती हूँ। और आज विशेष हम सबको इतने सुंदर मना आशीर्वचन दिए कि लॉकडाउन में भी कैसे हम अपने आंतरिक जगत की यात्रा करें, अपने आप को सशक्त करें और हर परिस्थिति में विजयी बन जाए। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद दीदी जी।
माधवी बहन
जी,
कैन आई टेक 2 मिनट्स?
यस यस।
मैं दीदी जी की एक विशेषता बताना चाहूंगा और मुझे बहुत खुशी है कि मैं दीदी जी को देख पा रहा हूँ। मैं आपको एक अपना छोटा सा एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करता हूँ। हमारा चेन्नई में स्पोर्ट्स विंग का कॉन्फ्रेंस और ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम था और मुझे हैदराबाद से मुझे, हाँ अभी ठीक है, अभी ठीक है। तो हमारा चेन्नई में स्पोर्ट्स विंग का कॉन्फ्रेंस और ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम था और मैं कहीं से हैदराबाद में आकर मुझे फ्लाइट पकड़नी थी फॉर चेन्नई, एंड मेरी गलती की वजह से मैंने साइमल्टेनियसली 2 फ्लाइट मिस किए। एक रात को शाम को 7 बजे का था, वो मैंने फ्लाइट मिस किया। तो फिर मैंने दीदी को फोन किया और उसी दिन दूसरे दिन से इनॉग्रेशन था और फिर दीदी ने कहा नहीं चिंता नहीं करो, आप शांति सरोवर जाओ, नेक्स्ट दिन का बुक करके आ जाओ। और मैं जो दूसरा दिन गया उसमें भी कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो गया एंड आई स्टिल मिस्ड दैट फ्लाइट सुबह का, और मैं 2 बजे का मेरे को दोपहर का फ्लाइट मिला। और मैं ये बताना चाहता हूँ दीदी जी की विशालता, मेरी वजह से, इट वाज माय मिस्टेक कंप्लीटली, मेरी वजह से यज्ञ को कम से कम 10,000 रुपए का नुकसान हुआ। बट कमाल है, दीदी ने ना मुझे डांटा ना मुझे कुछ शिक्षा दी, भला बोले भाई जी आ जाओ आराम से, आने के बाद जो आपका क्लासेस है, बिलीव मी मुझे लगता है शायद लौकिक दुनिया में भी शायद मुझे कोई इतना नहीं माफ कर पाएगा, बट दीदी जी हैज सच अ बिग हार्ट। एंड जो आप कह रहे थे, जो आध्यात्मिक शक्ति है जो दीदी कह रहे थे, मन की शांति आनंद जो होगा अच्छा होगा, वो सिर्फ कहने के लिए हमारी बहनें नहीं कहती हैं, अनेक ऐसे अनुभव हैं जहाँ पे जो दीदियां हैं उसको प्रैक्टिकल करके दिखाती है। एंड यही हमारे लिए एक इंस्पिरेशन है कि इतना बड़ा नुकसान, मेरे लिए तो वो बहुत बड़ा नुकसान था, और उस पर भी दीदी ने मुझे आज तक भी कभी भी वो नहीं कहा कि देखो तुम्हारी वजह से वो नुकसान। शी इज फुल ऑफ लव, लॉट ऑफ, मेरे को एक बहुत अच्छे भाई की तरह मेरे को पालना देती है एंड आई रियली अप्रिशिएट। बाबा ने जो हमारे बड़ों को ऐसा बनाया, हमारे लिए आधार और उद्धार के लिए आधारण मूर्त बनाया, वो मैं कभी नहीं भूल सकता हूँ दैट इंसिडेंट।
अगर दीदी जी की विशेषता सुनाने लगूं तो बहुत लंबा लिस्ट है। लेकिन अभी और दीदी की ये विशेषता है, जिसकी जो विशेषता है उनसे उनको वो सेवा देते हैं, तो इसीलिए सब डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करके वो फिर निश्चिंत हो जाते हैं, ट्रस्ट करते हैं, और इसीलिए इतना सुचारू रूप से शांति सरोवर में इतने सारे डिपार्टमेंट्स इतना शांतिपूर्वक चल रहे हैं कि जो भी शांति सरोवर कैंपस में आते हैं कहते हैं बहुत अच्छा अनुभव हो रहा है। कैंपस में पैर रखते ही, क्योंकि नए नए लोग आते हैं, जैसे नेशनल कंस्ट्रक्शन एकेडमी का यूथ का प्रोग्राम रहता है 2 दिन का रेसिडेंशियल, तो वो सभी जैसे गांव से होते हैं, तो उनको लगता है कि वो लोग जब यहाँ लेकर आने लगते हैं तो बोलते हैं मेरे ब्रह्म कुमारी इसमें जा रहे हैं, तो सब सोचते हैं ये लोग कहाँ लेकर जा रही है, क्या ओम शांति बोलते हैं करके आते हैं। लेकिन उनका अनुभव लास्ट सेकेंड डे जब हम सुनते हैं, उन्होंने वो कहते हैं जब बाहर थे, कैंपस के बाहर, सोचते कहाँ हमको लेकर जा रहे हैं, लेकिन जैसे ही अंदर कदम रखा कैंपस के, इतना शांति का अनुभव हुआ, हमारा माइंडसेट ही चेंज हो गया। क्योंकि मैं ये समझती हूँ कि दीदी जी बचपन से ही 3 साल की आयु से ही ये राजयोगा मेडिटेशन प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, और दीदी जी अपने पूरे परिवार के साथ जुड़े हुए हैं इस राजयोग से, इस संस्था से, और दीदी जी के साथ उनके माता पिता निमित्त बने आंध्रा और तेलंगाना में ब्रह्मा कुमारी की सेवाएं शुरू करने में। तो इतना उनके अंदर आध्यात्मिकता कूट कूट करके भरा है कि उनके पास जाते ही इतने सुंदर हमको प्रेरणाएं मिल करके हम परिवर्तन करना हमारे लिए बहुत आसान हो जाता है। शायद सुनने से पहले ही हम देख करके ज्यादा परिवर्तन होते हैं। कई बार मैं सोचती हूँ कि मैं जब चेंज करना चाहती हूँ, लेकिन कुछ बातें होती हैं, संस्कार निकलते हैं, चेंज नहीं हो पाते हैं, तब मैं सोचती हूँ अगर मेरे बदले दीदी होते तो क्या करते थे। और जैसे मैं दीदी को विजुअलाइज करती हूँ, वो संस्कार या वो थॉट चेंज करना मेरे लिए बहुत इजी हो जाता है। तो इस तरह से मेरे लिए तो दीदी बहुत रोल मॉडल है। और ऐसे ही जो भी पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं, बिजनेस पीपल हैं, तो उनके लिए भी बहुत सारे मैनेज करना पड़ता है, लेकिन ये आध्यात्मिक ज्ञान से वो पीपल मैनेजमेंट का हो, टाइम मैनेजमेंट का हो, हेल्थ मैनेजमेंट बहुत आसान हो जाता है। ये हम दीदी से देख करके अनुभव करते हैं। तो इसलिए दीदी जी का आज बहुत 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 दिल से धन्यवाद। आज हम यहाँ बैठे हैं तो उसके लिए दीदी ही कारण है, निमित्त है। उसके साथ में भाई जी, गिरीश भाई जी का भी मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करती हूँ, क्योंकि ये एक्चुअली 6:30 to 7:30 मेडिटेशन का टाइम है आपका, फिर भी आपने त्याग करके हमारे लिए इतना समय दिया, तो ये भी मेडिटेशन है। थैंक यू सो मच गिरीश भाई जी। और साथ में मैं FTCCI प्रेसिडेंट श्री करुणेंद्र जास्ती जी को भी दिल से धन्यवाद करती हूँ। ऐसे ही श्री रमाकांत इनानी जी, सीनियर वाइस प्रेसिडेंट FTCCI, श्री भास्कर रेड्डी जी, वाइस प्रेसिडेंट FCCI, और रविकांत रेड्डी जी, प्रेसिडेंट NHRD, उनको भी मैं दिल से धन्यवाद करती हूँ। उनका भी बहुत सपोर्ट रहा ये सेमिनार ऑर्गेनाइज करने में। और साथ में आप सब पार्टिसिपेंट्स, अगर आप नहीं होते थे तो शायद ये सेमिनार भी हम नहीं कर पाते थे। तो जिन्होंने भी ये पार्टिसिपेट किया है सेमिनार, उन सबका दिल से बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। तो ये सेमिनार से हमारा रिश्ता खत्म नहीं हुआ है, हमारा ये संबंध आपके साथ और ऐसे ही जुड़ा रहेगा, क्योंकि तो जो इसके बाद भी अगर कोई मेडिटेशन राजयोग का सीखना चाहते हैं तो आपका ईमेल आईडी हमारे पास है, जिन्होंने भी रजिस्ट्रेशन किया है, तो हम आपको समय प्रति समय सूचित करते रहेंगे ताकि आप और भी आगे के सेमिनार्स में पार्टिसिपेट कर सको। मेडिटेशन सीखना है तो मेडिटेशन ऑनलाइन का भी जो आपको सूचित किया जाएगा, आप पार्टिसिपेट कर सकते हैं। तो 4-5 दिन से जो आपका हमारा संबंध बना रहा, ऐसे ही आगे भी बना रहेगा, यही आशा है। थैंक यू टू वन एंड ऑल। थैंक यू गिरीश भाई जी, थैंक यू दीदी।
थैंक यू।
ओम शांति।
थैंक यू।